sellers say, yeah, I'm just gonna list it on the market. I want to get, for example, 400K. In reality, they're gonna net about 350, which that was our offer from the first place. But instead of waiting 4 or 5 months to get the 350 and paying holding cost or other fees involved, they could done with us within 20 days or less.
Yeah. No, 100%. Well, I just spoke with a seller yesterday, for example. This was a very astute seller. And one of the reasons he reached out to us is because the house was listed on the market. The house was listed at $439. Max in that neighborhood is about $390 to $400.
Oh, wow.
So there's no way that they're going to sell that property. And obviously he caught wind of that. And so he reached out to us. Now, in other cases, let's say the seller understands a little more and the agent is a pretty astute agent. And so obviously they're still an agent. So even though they know that they should list it at 330, they're going to list it at 360 because they want that commission, of course. Now, let's say our price needs to be at 330. Even if they got a full price offer at 360, just like you said, there's going to be closing costs and there's going to be holding costs. So when it's all said and done on a 360 purchase price, they're probably going to pay anywhere from $25,000 to $33,000. Now,
I would add it also the contribution after the inspection, which is this concession. It can be easy 2 to 3% from the selling price. So it can easily be
40
about
to 50.
Yeah.
So if you sell at 360, there's a good chance you're going to net 310.
Correct.
Maybe 320 in a great scenario. We just offered you 330.
Yes.
A lot of the times people are not aware of that. And so they end up wasting a ton of time and actually losing a lot of money because they're unfamiliar with how the process works with cash. And they have this misconception that no matter what, we're going to get a lowball number. And it's not a lowball number. It's an appropriate number, which is why we're usually not that far off from where you are currently. The only difference is because you had someone in your ear who makes more money the higher they sell your property. That's not how we work. We just want a good asset.
It seems like the only winner is the agent because the agent, they're making a nice commission.
And if they don't sell
without any
risk.
Without any risk. So the agent, pretty much, they are the winners because they're making the most out of the selling of the property without any risk, without any involvement. While the sellers, basically, they need to wait a couple of months, a lot of stress, and basically it's holding them off because they don't know when they're going to sell it and for how much they're going to sell it.
Yeah.
Versus going with a cash transaction, they know exactly when they're going to sell and for how much they're going to sell. They know what's their net.
Exactly.
They know what's the bottom line.
Exactly.
And from some reason, agent, when they take a listing, they don't explain the sellers what will be their bottom line. If they're going to sell the property, for example, at 400K, they don't explain you're not actually going to get 400K from the sale. You're going to have about 8 to 10% deductions in fees. And the sellers, they are not aware of it. So this is a big problem.
Yeah, and I would argue that a lot of agents just don't know. There's a small percentage of agents that are the real deal. No offense to you guys, but there are just too many agents. I don't know the actual stat right now, but at one point it was 1.8 agents per house on the market.
So there is more agents than houses to sell.
Yeah. So half the agents that exist do no business. And so when they get business, even if the appropriate listing price is $330, they're going to list it at $420.
Now, another problem from what you just said. So because there's so many agents, more than houses, every agent, they will say and they will fight for this listing. They're going to say whatever they need to say to make the seller sign a contract with them for 6 months because they know the competition is really big here. Yeah. So they're going to say, they're going to be nice. They're going to say, yeah, I can sell your house at $415, $420. Even the maximum price that you can sell is only $400.
Yep.
But they're going to sell stories to the sellers to get the listing.
Yeah.
And it's confusing the sellers a lot.
Yeah. And this may sound bad, but it's really a good thing.
Because they work only on commissions.
Yes. And 100%. So I will add to that guys, this may sound bad, but it really is a good thing. we actually don't care about getting your business. We don't care. What we want is a good asset. So if we're doing something with you, you can be sure that it works for us and you'll have that certainty. We're not trying to win your business. We're trying to find good assets. An agent, they're trying to win your business. And so inherently, that takes away the certainty. And so they're going to tell you, oh, you want 350? Hey, why don't we just go ahead and list it at 390? Why don't we just do that? That way you make more. But they're not telling them that it's a 90% probability that this house will not sell at 370. They're not telling them that. 4 months go by, they lower it 30 grand. Now they're all the way back down to 340.
And they need to pay about 8 to 10% in fees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In those 4 months, they've been paying the mortgage. It's probably not free and clear. So they've been paying the mortgage. So now before you know it,
They're paying mortgage, realistically, property taxes, utilities.
Exactly.
Everything.
All that continues throughout the process. And so realistically, they're probably in the whole 20, 30 grand by the time they sell. They're losing, unless they have a ton of equity, they're going to be losing money. And even if they have a ton of equity, they're going to be losing that equity the more time that goes past. And you don't feel it because you're paying the mortgage. It's not being subtracted from your proceeds. But, I mean, if you spend 10 grand over 3 months keeping the house and it hasn't sold, that means you're not netting 330 anymore. You're netting 320.
And the buyers right now, I want to say something that the market has shifted to a buyer markets right now. A buyer market. What does it mean? It means the buyers can see that your property is sitting on the market for 2, 3, 4 months. So they understand that you need to sell your property. So just be ready for a lot of low balls.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's where the low balls come in, by the way.
That's the real low balls, not from the investors, actually. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because look, I got to be honest. If there's a community of people who buy real estate and they see your house has been sitting for 90 plus days, oh, something's wrong. It's not selling, so I can just come in at a low number. This is the only option you have. That's where you start to get low balls, guys.
Yes.
100%.
And they cannot back out right now and say, no, I want to go to the investor route right now. They cannot because they have an agent with them for 6 months and somebody needs to pay his commission.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this is another problem here.
Yep. And a lot of the times they'll release you on a conditional withdrawal.
Which you can't really sell the property unless you pay them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So they're going to be paid out no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's all because you decided to go under contract with them and it didn't sell.
So that's funny. The sellers, typically they think that if they work with investors or there is some hidden fees or things that are not being telling them, and they think the safe road to go is with agents. And the reality is that most of the hidden fees are coming from the agents because the agent not really telling them what actually going to happen and how really they're going to net out of this sell.
Yeah, there's not a situation where I've ever seen an agent sit down with the seller and say, hey, okay,
break down
here's
the
deal.
numbers. Yes.
If we sell at 340, here's what you expect to pay. If we sell at 370, here's what you expect to pay. Here's how much you expect to net. They don't go through the 3 tiers, right? They don't give them 3 tiers. They don't give them 3 different numbers that you could potentially sell at and tell you how much you would net.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, this is exactly what we do.
Correct.
Because we don't have to, we're not guessing here. We know what numbers work. We're not telling you that, oh, we're either going to pay 350 or 340. We don't really know yet, but we'll know at closing. No. We know before you sign the agreement. And before you sign the agreement,
you know
barring
exactly
you have
how
to
much
know
you're
your
gonna
mortgage
net
payment,
and when you're going to sell. And if you need extra time to stay, we can give you the extra time to stay. So I see it's a win-win situation, to be honest. I don't see, especially in the market of today, how people still work with agents and list the properties unless it's completely renovated.
Yeah.
So here's the thing that nobody really talks about it: concessions. So when you sell a property and you have a buyer, the property is under contract, right? The first thing that the buyer they do inspection, right? After the inspection, you have a huge, big report of all the problems that you have in your property. And every property has tons of property, even a renovated property. So concession, it's something that the sellers not even aware.
They're not expecting to empty their coffers upon the sale. And unless your house, like I said, is completely renovated up to whatever year we're in, now it's 2025. So if it's not a 2025 standard, especially now where we have more inventory than I mean, in the last decade, this is the most inventory we've had. So now people have options. And so if they like your location, but there's something wrong with the property, they're not going to front that cost. The concessions are going to come in the form of you repairing that thing.
Which you can because you're not a contractor.
Exactly.
And the agent also cannot help you with that.
Exactly. So what will most likely happen is you're going to have to lower the price.
Yeah, and we're talking about 15, 20,000 out of nowhere that the seller didn't expect that. And we're talking about 2 to 3% from the from the selling price. It's a lot.
Yeah. I think right now the average concession number is about $20,000.
Yeah.
On average.
Yes.
And so you're talking about on the upper bound, 30, 40 grand. On the lower bound, probably 10. It's going to be
not
minimum 10.
including the agent fees.
Yep.
Not including the closing cost.
Yep.
There is no sell without paying concession to the buyer.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Even with our flips that we do, we always pay concessions.
Yes. Because
Obviously
they're
not the-
always going to find an issue.
They're
right?
always going to find something, no matter what. Yeah. So, and nobody really explained that to the sellers when they decide, oh, I'm just going to list the property because I'm not getting enough, or you're trying to lowball me. We're not trying to lowball you. That's what it's worth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
And honestly, guys, there is not an environment where an investor can do deals consistently if he's lowballing you. Makes no sense. He's probably not in business because
Yes.
he's getting outbidded on every single property. If that's the case, that's just the reality of it. Unless you're the only person he's talking to. This is 2025, so that's not the case usually. He's not going to get that. He's not going to get that deal from you. And so if anyone's actually lowballing you, I mean, they're really not even in the business at that point. And so the number that we provide, the reason why we're able to acquire so many properties is because we're not lowballing individuals. We're giving them a absolutely fair number. And it's usually relative to a list price because they probably tried to list it already.
so how do you convince or explain the seller that, hey, this is not a lowball, that's actually what it's really worth? How do you convince them?
It's not even convincing. It's more
Explaining them.
It's more so, look, real estate, it's buildings in the ground with hard numbers attached to them. You can't really fake these things. And so if I give you a number, I can tell you exactly how I arrived at that number. And any investor or anyone who's talking to, even an agent, they should tell you how they came to that number. If they don't, everything in real estate can be justified. If it is not justified, it is BS.
Correct. Yeah. And also, I want you to relate the market right now. Every month that you hold in the property, it's probably you losing the value of the property. So you want to go and get more money or more bucks to you or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Because in reality, you cannot sell the property on the market if you are not completely renovated within a month.
Yeah.
Okay. So it takes 4 to 6 months, maybe even sometimes 9 months.
Yeah.
During the 6 month, for example, you're going to lose value of your property. You're going to have tons of holding cost and a lot of stress too.
Yeah. And, opportunity costs vary across the board. I wish it was black and white and I can give a blanket idea, but everyone's situation is different. So what I like to say is circumstantial. And so your opportunity cost is completely correlated to your circumstance. And so let's say someone wants to move out of the state, for example. Their goal is to move out of the state, maybe be closer to their children or something, right? Now your opportunity cost is not just money anymore. This is your entire life. This is your emotional well-being at that point. And so you could be sitting on the market missing time with your kids because you're stuck in this house because you can't sell it because you let someone convince you that you could sell it for $470 when you should have sold it for $420.
Yep.
And so the baggage that comes with holding on and not making a decision, it varies. It could be really severe. Hey, and honestly, in some cases, is maybe not a big deal, right? But in most cases, it's usually a big deal. And it goes beyond financial opportunity costs. You're going to be missing out on a lot of things. Maybe your health starts to deteriorate. I've seen this happen.
Yeah.
Because
Definitely.
someone's stuck in a house. And it's just a house. It really doesn't affect you. But when you get into...
But for your example, if they want to move to out of state, they cannot plan their future, right?
Yeah, you can't go anywhere. You're not going to have 80 grand to put down on a house.
Unless you work with us, you sell it to us, in a fair price,
then you have
and
that
we
80
give
grand.
him a little bit more time to stay at the property so you can actually find your next property
And we'll help you find the property.
and negotiate for you as well.
And we'll negotiate for you.
Yeah. Sounds like a win-win.
It is definitely a win-win-win. That's what I call it. You win, I win, we all win in the end.
Good, good.